it was anointed in his own self, right? This being live stream. Okay, got it. Well, look. I I was talking to her yesterday. Now, welcome everybody who's live stream now. We're just going ahead and get into the teaching. We're going to Matthew chapter 7. And anything else that the Lord lead us on, we can spin off on that. But the main thing is trying to get through it. And I probably want to format it that we're going to teach we're going to preach using the four gospels as much, and then we'll use some of the New Testament letters and sometimes Old Testament scriptures. But the main thing is focus on the foundation laid by Christ, because that's who we are, right? We're Christians, and I still want to continue to question or at least challenge people that think the way they're thinking, today, with how are you comparing and squaring yourself away with the teaching of Christ? I think that people try to get away with when they try to deal with even the letters in the New Testament, especially like Saul or something like that, or somebody want to be a John the Baptist type person, preacher. But the teaching of Christ gave an example for us. And that's what we should try to use as we go our day-to-day life. Amen. So anyway, when we were talking about curses is he that hangs on the tree, right? I was my sister and I, and you and I, we talked about last week last, what the cross symbolized, what happened in the garden. It addresses everything that happened in the garden, the thorns and the hands and the feet and the spear in the side. All was addressing that which happened in the garden, because Christ came to pay the price, and he was made a curse. He was made sin for us.
Yeah.
Because the original sin is to put all into a tailspin afterward. Well, and then we'll talk about strange fruit, which was happening all the way to 1968, apparently, of people making that a choice of terror, which is interesting because they did it so long. You sit there and say, we're not getting there, right? In other words, you keep seeing this progression. You keep seeing a Brother Addison, or, look, your father or your grandfather, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They still progress. Did you ever notice that? Because when you look at those conditions, especially coming out of 400 years or so many years of slavery, then the Jim Crow law, and then this systemic discrimination, they still, I'm talking about African Americans, still progress, still kept going. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
And we have to commend. I know sometimes these modern day jokers sometimes want to sit there and call us. They may call the people weak or whatever, but no, those people say, no, I'm surviving. And that's the way to go. You you keep pressing no matter what they throw at you. You keep pressing.
Yeah.
And they did the election yesterday for South Carolina. One of the things that they did on the polling is that the mega people, I don't know about I can't remember what they did with the Democrats, but the mega people, they showing a high percentage of angry voters. Now you ask yourself the question, what do you think? They didn't tell us why they was angry.
Oh, they told each other.
Huh?
They told each other.
They told each other, and they
But
continued
they didn't tell the world why they were angry.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
but
they don't want to.
It was obvious. it was so obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just like we hear, there's no racism in this state. I mean, in
look, even in that state too. Tell you the truth, right? The lady said it was not.
But
and the thing about it is, it's like people are angry because they feel threatened. People feel threatened. I don't know what I'm not sure what the black people that supports him are
uh
angry about.
that I I've yet to find one that explain anything for them being a part of that group
Mm-hmm.
other than that the Democratic Party's original conception. You know, they got to go all the way back there that, you know, they were the racists,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and how they kind of
Yeah,
switch
they switched. They switched.
over time. But
Right.
that's their reason, not the
Interesting.
policies, and then you have those that will talk about, you know, well, Democrats believe in a handout, and which is ridiculous because every other nationality has been given handouts
Mm-hmm.
except for us.
Yeah, we're the ones
We've
who.
just been included, but not fully included. You
And
know,
look, yeah, yeah, and that's why they're angry because they didn't want, like that's why we don't
yeah,
have free health care
yeah,
because they think it is no, we can't give it. See, y'all, see that's the anger part is
yeah,
you opening in the door for them, you know, and they keep pouring through because whatever you throw out there, they will thrive. You know what? Maybe people didn't understand. Whatever we so used to surviving with the least.
mm,
When they were doing this slavery, when they was how they was feeding the slaves, and the slaves made use of what was given to them in order to survive. You know,
yeah,
uh, you said but it's a survival. It's a survival instinct. In other words, we'll make do what we get and still make do.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just inherent within us to exist no matter what the state,
uh-huh,
and where, you know, many others could not survive,
yeah,
could
yeah,
not thrive,
mm-hmm,
you know, and then out of the hardship, that hardship bred innovation
yes, come on,
to ease the burden,
yes, sir, yes, sir,
you know, and you know that's nothing but God.
come on now, come on,
I
and
mean, to give you the ingenuity. I mean,
uh-huh,
if you're physically pushed to the end of every day,
everything,
I mean, from almost when a child has an understanding
mm-hmm,
of language and control of its limbs, it was put out in the field to pick cotton
yeah,
before sun up
mm-hmm.
and after sundown.
Right, and yeah, quotas sometimes too.
Yeah. And so who else will give the knowledge to ease that burden for a group of people?
Yeah, with the cotton gin.
Cotton gin.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just amazing, and then, you know, that's just one of the things, but there's
It
just an
yeah.
endless.
It seemed like and in parallel, the children of Israel
Yeah,
in Egypt, it paralleled the flight of Joseph when
yeah,
he was um
put in that
so
hole, and yeah,
yeah, he continued to thrive no matter what, you know. And I think the and then we talk about like Black Wall Street, and then also some of the other places in Florida where the envy
yeah,
led to the killing.
yeah. When this is the thing, when left alone and put, we don't even have to be made equal, but when left alone, we excel
Hmm.
and do greater things.
Yes.
Uh, and it's just the nature of our being.
Uh-huh.
And so because of that, there's a jealous act.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it just takes over these people, and that's just inherent in most of them. I'm not saying all, but in most
Now,
of them.
yeah. The
And
ones
it's
that,
not just toward uh, it's any person of color
yeah, I agree.
that
Eh,
that starts to uh, in their eyes equal them from their point of view, or
mhm.
start to exceed them in their point of view. They have a keen sense of reality.
Yeah. Yeah. And I seen that also with uh I'm in the book of Acts now. And one of the things that you pick, I don't know if you pick, maybe you heard it, you seen it, you read it. Remember the Jews, every time when the gospel was being spread
Mm-hmm.
and it was reaching the Gentiles, because the Jews became angry of the spreading of the gospel, especially when it went toward the Gentiles. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want the Gentiles. They, first of all, it was a culture already
Yeah,
self-contained.
yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
was it was a part of the law. You know, it was they were supposed to be a pure
Mm-hmm.
and separated,
Mm-hmm.
sanctified
Sanctified. Yeah.
group of beings, and for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
There was a purpose for that.
Yeah.
Uh, but I mean, when you look at the Tower of Babel,
Mm-hmm.
you know that there's
Ooh, you tied
even
that.
even problems with that
Okay.
without being righteous.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Even that
wasn't even.
group, got out of hand when they were on one accord.
Nothing could restrain from them
Yeah.
when they all on one accord. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So the confounding, the speech and everything created the divide
Mm-hmm.
among people. And you know, so I was just wondering about that because going back to the strange fruit again, and we talk about the one who was that mattered on that tree was
Mm-hmm.
Christ, right? He mattered because he was sinless uh, and he was called to be the sacrifice.
Yeah, he
As a matter of
was
fact,
the only strange fruit because every other being
mhm,
was already cursed.
yeah,
So it wasn't strange for them to be
mm.
on the tree.
It was
So
not.
he is the only strange fruit.
Uh-huh. And so what I thought about that was the people that were people of color, because you didn't see no Chinese
Yeah.
being lynched, you didn't see no Native Americans being lynched. They've been scalped, but they won't lynch. And that started because the the uh, the white settler was the ones started it, and
Yeah.
then they said, "Well, we're gonna do it to you too,"
Yeah.
right? But the it's like the gospel, the teaching, the church, the black people, if they are, if we are the people that were actually the original Hebrews, the enemy, the devil, is still using the curse. The hanging was one of the
Oh
symbols
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
curse.
Of the curse.
Guess what? This is what my sister and I talked about yesterday that I didn't catch until we talked about it yesterday. I don't know. It came to my spirit, but we was talking about it. is January 6th. What do you think symbolized a curse on January 6th?
Oh yeah, that scaffold
Woo!
they put up there.
Did you see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That was rapid. People, those people know that it was a Hey Mike Pence.
yeah.
And they built, man, that thing was built.
For but check this out. Because he had to fulfill something
Mm, no, you
to
didn't.
usher in a
Woo,
new covenant.
woo.
And so they wanted to hang him before he could do that.
Well, you mean before, or they had hang him because he wouldn't, he was trying to usher a strange covenant, right?
Yeah, well, they wanted him to stop doing his
Yes.
job.
Yeah,
So,
right.
which was to usher in a new
Administration, though, not
administration.
covenant.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Covenant.
Okay. Okay.
Just
Right.
just just using it as a new administration.
A new administration. And the
And
fact of
so
the,
they wanted him
uh-huh,
to stop. And because he would not stop, because he applied, he was fulfilling what? The law.
the law. He
They
was
wanted
fulfilling.
to hang him for doing that.
Yeah. Look, one nation, and because you think about the pledge, at least, right? One nation under God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that 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 news out there was representing curse.
Yeah.
We want to curse. I mean, that thing. I don't think people. I'm not even put the title on there. We were actually not we. Those people are actually cursing the nation.
Yeah, but the and I mean, though they were blind in their actions and in their beliefs, some knew exactly what was going on. Some of them it was just out of pure anger and malice.
Yeah, but with anger about what, right? Because the fact is that which goes back. Look. That's what I'm saying. Like you said, the looting of what they're angry about
Yeah, because they could
is
not have their way.
their way, and they were seeing you're opening the door for people that we've been making strange fruit of.
Mm-hmm.
Are you tracking where I'm coming from? There's a connection here that these people are doing this for so long. They lynching, they killing, and they wanted they could that like I said, some people try to say it was a spontaneous riot, not a sedition. But the point is, how did you bring the scaffold there? How did you bring a how did you build something spontaneously? Unless you brought the material in a vase, you
Yeah,
brought the rope in a vase. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You that was not a spontaneous
No, they
construction.
brought equipment. They brought tools. That thing was built in such a way where they were standing on it. It wasn't rickety.
It was clear. It was look. It was nice wood, like new wood and
Yeah.
everything. It was a new construction, and people. I guess what I'm trying to say. We talk about the thing is that it represents the curse. It represents that even in this case, it's symbolically a curse in the nation, right? Because this guy was the second. He's the vice president of this country, of the center part of this government, right? And the head of the country was already bought into the curse or
Yeah.
bought into destroying, democracy
Yeah.
as we knew it. As there's a procedure that you go through, and they didn't want to go through the procedure. They wanted to go another way. They wanted to go another route. And they even talking. I sent it to you. I sent it to you on TikTok the other day, where they was talking about trying. They said six was January 6th was successful, but next time we will be successful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, this is the thing. Yeah, I look at it in this aspect. Uh, for the most part, in this country, when they didn't get their way, they changed the rules.
Yes.
They made it difficult for anyone to achieve what they couldn't.
Mm.
And so they tried to do it again. But the
Yes.
problem was there was some theys on the other side. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That that was like, well, we got our way because we did it the way it was supposed to be done, and we're not going to let you change the way things are done
Yeah.
just to benefit you. So it's almost like the spoiled kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's for kid. Yeah, it's for
either
that's
either
why they
they
represent.
can't achieve in their
Uh-huh.
and then they get spoiled and get what they want,
Mm-hmm.
and or everyone has to pay the penalty.
Interesting. That means this guy that's gonna run again symbolize the spoiled brat of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, everything was look. He symbolized everything that some people of the old has been accustomed to.
Yeah,
He wasn't he didn't because some people are trying to say how does he relating to these people who never been millionaires, you know what I mean,
yeah.
or even billionaires, and yet he they relate to him. How does a poor uh, person or even a middle class person
Relate to him
relate to this guy?
out of
He,
and you know I said this before. That was the question for me.
mm-hmm,
And I've sat and I would sit there and just think. And the only thing that I could come up with is he's telling them if him being one of the richest people and upper class can't get away with doing what they want to do in this country, the people who believe like him, oh, you froze on me. I'll just wait. Oh, okay, there
was
you go.
frozen.
I hear you. You still frozen a little bit.
I heard something. It's choppy too.
Yeah, it's choppy. Still
Cause hey,
frozen.
look, we tapping on something, brother. We're coming back. It's
Yeah,
coming back.
yeah, yeah. You know, yeah, there
There
we
it
go.
is. There it is.
But what I was saying is the only thing that ties them together is if him being who he is, if he can't get away with
Uh-huh.
acting the way
He
he's
said that
doing
too.
and doing the things that he's doing,
Yeah.
then there's no way you can do
Yes.
act the way it
Exactly.
is. And so if they are persecuting me, they're persecuting you.
Which he said. You know
Yes.
that? He said that
Yes.
too.
He said that.
If
And
they're
so
coming
I'm
after
like,
me, they're coming after you.
that's got to be it.
Yeah. In other words, the privileges.
Yes. He's
If
representing the privileges at a level, at a high level.
mhm.
And believe me, he still is beyond the normal privilege of anybody.
Yeah, they're giving
And
a lot
he's
of.
just a civilian,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he gets to speak to judges disrespectful
Yeah.
and get away with it. He's able to go to the news media. Now, this is news who are supposed to to show fact and fact only, check
Good
fact,
journalism. Yeah, good
question
journalism. Yeah.
people's responses, especially to make sure that they're accurate and unbiased.
Yeah.
And yet they don't do that no more.
No, no.
And this guy gets a bully pulpit, and he's not even, and he shouldn't have that information. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
who shows up to court and gets all the major news stations to show up just because he's showing up
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
Because
give him
because
airtime?
well, they're doing it because it's like I'm president of all the other presidents. They normally just move to the side,
Yeah,
right? They don't do what this guy did. They
yeah,
try to sit there and say, man, how they try to equate the offense that he did with Pence and Biden,
yeah,
right? There's like they had like a few documents that they were going to use for their books. This man went for he went for it. And you heard the appeals they're putting in for him right
yeah,
now, right? They're sitting
yeah,
there saying this. He designated those as personal items before he left the White House.
yeah,
And you're saying, when? Give me in writing. And remember, he said you just gotta think. You could think
yeah. You could think it.
it. Yeah, it's like, oh, really?
Yeah,
That,
and
that
then
that's how.
I'm like, I was confused when the man said that you can do anything you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
when you're in the president and you need immunity to do it. And
yeah.
they asked him, well, can you send the Secret Service to go and kill
A
any of your adversaries or opponents
political
and
opponent.
get away
Yeah.
with it? And they're like, yes, if they didn't impeach him. And
See,
I'm
that's
like,
the
so
audacity.
so if he really believed that, why would he expose that when Biden is the president? And if it was
Exactly.
so, why is he still alive?
Because he don't think that they would do it. And matter of fact, I don't want y'all to do it.
Yeah,
I just want y'all to leave the door open so I can do it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's right. There's a warped thinking in it because you're not the president. And if y'all come up and the Supreme Court is probably trying to figure out how to say if they want to give it to him, like that
yeah. I
five
mean,
concern.
they want this man to exist.
Yes. Yeah.
And the reason why is because chaos
Mm-hmm.
brings conformity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As long as there's chaos, then they're going to conform to whatever we want so that we can do whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
And the focus is on the clown show.
And
You know
focus,
what I'm saying? So
because you know
with
what I think about it, it was clown shows for years. I mean, when you remember they had the KKK actually marched in Washington D.C. Remember that video?
yeah,
It was what thousands of them walking down the street. Uh, the lynching. What kind of show you think that was?
yeah,
That was a clown show, as far
yeah,
as I'm concerned. You took people and just like they did in the arena with Rome,
yeah,
they cheered the torture of a human being.
yeah,
That one, I think you said it was the lady who was pregnant and the baby fell out and was and the person stumped it to death. And you ask yourself, that's the enemy. That's
yeah,
there's a spirit behind it. There's the devil.
yeah. But yet they're willing to give an embryo the right to as a child.
And they messed it up, right? Because they
They blew it with that.
they messed that one.
And then they're gonna try and use the Bible. We were made in the image of God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so was Hitler.
Yeah. So was
So was
Hitler.
Dahmer. So was
Exactly.
Jack the Ripper. So was Trump. So, and I'm not trying to equate him with all them other evil people, but there's a lot of evil things that's going on in 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 humans that are supposedly made in the image of God. And but what they fail to understand is an embryo is not a child.
Mm-hmm.
What made man was when God breathed life into man
Yeah.
and he became a living soul
Come on. Yeah.
and he moved and was a separate entity, self-contained and was able to self-exist
Mm.
in this environment.
Right. Right.
So that's why it's hard for me to say to a woman who has an unborn child in her that she has no precedence, that the child has as much precedence as she, because without the mother, the
Mm-hmm.
child can't exist. That child is not breathing.
Nope. It's not
The
breathing.
mother is breathing.
Right. And
A
the
child
embryo
is
is
not
frozen.
considered
Yeah.
alive until that child breathes. That's why they slap it on the behind and wait for that cry.
Mm-hmm.
This child is born
And
alive. It is a living being when it breathes on its own.
and
And
it,
and then even when they don't breathe on their own, they put in uh, mechanisms to help the child breathe. That child is still not self-sustaining.
mm, the point they're saying is, I agree. What I'm just saying, people that just listening, what we're saying is that you going too far. You're trying to
Yeah,
put a theocracy in this country. Because you basically using the spiritual scripture, and I can see the conception of a child in the day of conception, that seed, those when the egg and the sperm get together, is producing uh, uh, what will be a human,
yeah,
fully
what
human
will
being one
be.
day.
But see, but they don't even go from there because the Bible tells me that he knew me
Yeah.
before
Hmm.
I was in my mother's womb.
Which means life is the spirit that God puts into and brings into this world, especially ones he give a divine purpose to,
Yeah,
is done before even
before
conception.
conception is done.
Exactly. Exactly. But
And
yet
just
they want
because
to,
there's a life there doesn't mean that that life is one that is intended to be by God, because there are many children that aren't born,
the, the,
that
the,
they don't even have the necessary organs to exist.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And
But
they're
they'll
making
want
these women
they'll yeah,
go to term with these unviable
yeah.
uh
Because the
uh
doctors and stuff is like, I don't want to go to jail.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand what these people are doing.
Well, that's the courts are telling them. The judges, a
Hmm.
judge.
Hmm. Not a doctor, not a physician, not a
Yeah.
medical board, but them, because they're using. But you see, what I'm saying is they use scripture to justify. But at the same time, if I hey, look, I'm gonna ride with you. That's a human being. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not. But when about the ones that come out of the birth canal, the ones that are children, the ones that are teenagers, the
Yeah.
ones that are grown big, you don't have the same desire to protect them.
Yeah. I mean,
meaning
these
that
kids can't even go
this
to
war.
school because they won't protect them.
Yeah, come
They
on.
they 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 rather protect the NRA than a child.
Yes, sir.
The NRA has more protection than a child, a
And
born child in this nation.
and those people going there and kill children, mass killing, and yet you're not outraged. You know that
Yeah,
not outraged.
yeah,
The only thing I'm saying that's what people understand. Your hypocrisy sticks out too much,
yeah,
and it's obvious hypocrisy. Even the fact that even with the election, it's obvious hypocrisy.
yeah,
Both are old. You're
yeah.
totally
And,
talking
well,
3 years
this is
different.
the other crazy thing is this guy's actions has him in court,
Mm.
and it's what he did or didn't do that has him in court.
Yeah,
And then he turns around and says it's Biden and his
exactly.
establishment
Yeah,
that's got him going to court.
yeah. And now he
Not
gave.
what he did.
Yeah, and then look. Remember last a couple of years ago when it was doing the Black Lives Matter thing, and somebody said defund the police, and yet they turn around and said defund the FBI
Yeah,
because
yeah. But that's been going on way before that. But see,
it's
but this is the thing. This is why I said chaos is the go-to by those who are really running the show. Because out of all the names they could have come up with for that program,
mhm,
why would it be that?
interesting.
Why would it be that?
Hmm.
Why wouldn't it say? Why wouldn't they just call it a a social initiatives,
Mm,
a social initiative movement? Because that's what it was supposed to be. You take money that's given to the police so
yep.
that they quit making the police
Do
look
something that
like
they're not equipped to
military
do. Right. They're
because
not
they
trained
right
to do.
now you can't tell the difference. They
Yeah.
look like a military regime.
They
The
got
same
APCs and
stuff that the
everything.
military has,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And you could just see how everything is moving toward a dictatorship,
Yep.
dictator control, because that's what it's going to take to control these people in these streets because there's more weapons in the streets than are in most nations in this
They
world.
they did that too. They were trying to make it seem like they said you need that protection. But at the same time, if you take any other group, well, y'all don't need that.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm fearing for my life.
yeah,
I've seen where uh, an Anglo-Saxon could have a gun and they're not freaking out, not
yeah,
pulling their gun out, not going to extreme cautions
yeah.
now. And
Walk down the street, gun. They can have a gun on their side in a holster, open carry, and a weapon in their hand, and walk down the street, and the police drive right by them.
won't they pay attention?
Nobody calls. Nobody does nothing.
Right.
Right in the neighborhood, you know, and then have a brother walk through with a broomstick. He got a weapon.
He got a weapon. Hey, I see one person got picked up. They brought a whole bunch of cops, and the man only had the thing to pick up trash. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It was just it had a bucket, and he
Uh-huh.
had the thing to pick up trash.
Yeah.
And he was picking around his dorm because that was a
Yeah.
job or whatever. And the guy was like, "You have ID here? No, I don't have ID. I don't know, sir. I'm just doing my job. He said, I'm doing. He said, you got a weapon? I don't got no weapon, sir. All I got is this. It was a long conversation,
Yeah.
and then it had like 4 or 5 other cops showed up too because he called in that the man had a weapon.
Yeah.
It's so obvious of hypocrisy, and people they don't understand why they're losing people in the country, this country in
Yeah.
particular. or even Europe, the decline of Christianity.
Yeah.
Christianity is growing in Africa. Christianity is growing in China. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then in this country, they saying is the African Americans are bigger population now
Yeah.
of Christians, especially the black females.
Yeah. But
That tells that tells you something.
it. I'm thinking when you're talking about this, the individual, the officer, police officer, the cop, whatever you want to call him,
Uh-huh.
what was going on in his mind when he approached that individual?
He's
I want to make this dude have one of the worst days in his life because I feel like it.
yeah. Oh, because I was taught to. Matter of fact, remember, I was taught to do. It's almost like this when if you spend most of your life growing up saying these people are this way, right? In other
Yeah.
words, all whatever demonization you want to give these people, all I need is for these people to do something. And that just, because I just kept hearing that this is what they do.
Yeah. All
So
they need
once
to do
that
is just exist
just
and
come on,
something's wrong.
or just a behavior pattern that matches what they always taught them to be, then I gotta eliminate this threat. He's a threat. He's
Mm-hmm.
taught to be a threat. Well, why did Nikki Haley said that Obama election called Obama being divisive and people fear that they're gonna be in cages? How do you who's gonna be in cages?
Yeah.
And you know what they're talking? You know what she's saying?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna do what they
What we
did.
did to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yet, this nation has never been racist.
It's just
She actually said that and then tried to qualify it.
even though she's a melanated person
But
too.
this is what she said. She says, I've been treated differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what racism is.
Yeah. Her
But there's
parents.
never, and then she goes, but there's never been racism. I
Yeah.
mean, she did an oxymoron if I've ever seen one. How are you going to say something happened to you and then say that same thing that happened to you never happened in this nation?
Hey, yeah, here's an oxymoron. I like to add on to copy with that. The man that the Trump man said, "Where's her husband?"
Yeah.
Now I saw a picture of her husband. Have you seen a picture of her
Yeah.
husband?
Yeah.
He's melanated and brown.
He looked white to me.
Did it? No, because I looked at him. He looked
He
like
looked like
and then somebody from India too. The background that she came from. Let me
he
see
looked
here.
like a Anglo-Saxon to me.
Let's see. Let's see if I can bring it up while we talking. But the point is, he said that. Well, look, here's the hypocrisy I'm trying to say. Trump said, where is her husband?
Yeah.
And he's deployed, right? He's he's defending this. He defending the national interest of this
Yeah.
country.
Of the country.
And I don't see his wife, Trump's wife,
Well, you know what
anywhere.
he was saying? She needs to be in the kitchen and her husband should be out here. She's out of order. She's out of the order that we want.
where,
That a
where,
woman shouldn't be leading.
look,
Where's your
where's his
husband
wife?
at?
Where's his wife? Where's his wife at?
Ain't seen her since she got on the plane.
she, she don't want to deal with this dude. This guy, he literally embarrassed her, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean she's. I don't know.
She embarrassed him. She embarrassed. I mean,
She
not she. He embarrassed her.
yeah
How would
yeah
you like to know that while I was pregnant, you had a Stormy Daniel you sleeping with,
relationship yeah
or this bunny? What do you call it? The a playgirl bunny.
yeah
They look good too. Don't get me wrong. That one looked that little one looked pretty decent. And I know that she probably was like, this is embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Embarrassing. She probably you talking about with the butt, the bus ride, right?
Yeah.
Even the bus ride. That's that one about he
Yeah.
talking. He was like,
But
you
even
can
in
do
that,
anything.
who who got scourged by the nation and who got away with it?
Yeah, I know it.
Bill, what is this? Billy
Bill, huh?
the the interviewer, what was his name?
Which one? You talking about the for Trump or who?
No, the one that was actually uh doing the interview for the TV show that was on the bus with him that Trump was talking to. He
Oh,
was
that guy was
a
he was a
journalist.
relative. He was a relative of the he was a relative of one of the I think George Bush
Yeah,
children, wasn't he?
yeah. But this is the thing. He lost his job
He
and he
did
didn't
lose his
say that.
job. He did lose his
And
job.
nothing happened to Trump.
And we haven't seen anything of that guy since.
Oh, they trying to get him back into the the position that that he held, but it just didn't work.
It didn't work. Okay.
I seen him come try to do a comeback, do some interviews and stuff, but it
Oh
didn't.
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess they just didn't get the numbers that they wanted and just left him alone.
yeah, yeah. Because he's a little bit different. Uh, and he's George Bush too. Don't forget, like I say, related to George Bush.
Yeah,
So he was already out of it. Now my picture here showing. Let me see here. That he probably could pass. He may go for that move you call passing,
yeah.
right? But
I said
it's
I
so.
just saw a brief picture of him. They showed it on the news,
Mhm.
and him and her, and he was in uniform, but
Yeah. See, to me, he looks like he can almost the same complexion. She got a. You might not recognize she's melanated.
yeah, she looks more Indian
Yeah.
than Kamala.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And that husband right there, that he got some melanin in him too.
Not to
From what I'm
me.
looking.
Not to me.
Does he look like? Let me put him beside one of the Anglo-Saxons. Let me see here. See if he can. Because sometimes you can tell the difference when you see the what's in the background. Let's see here. Sometimes. Cause he looked at me more like he got some. Where is he from? That maybe that'll help us out. I don't know, but look at me. He got some melanin in him, but but he don't look like no straight Anglo-Saxon.
Uh,
Is
I
what I'm.
I I disagree.
Okay.
Look at that one picture at the bottom in the middle.
I'm
He
looking
don't
at.
look
I'm
no
kind of.
different than Lindsey Graham to me.
Leslie has a more of a pinkish color, skin color. He does not, to me. But you can right. Is he a captain?
I think he's probably a major now by now.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know.
Interesting. All right. Well, anyway, look. I thought he looked more. He looked melanated to me, but I could be wrong. Matter of fact, she said, "Where was he born?" Or where? Kate said he probably born
Now
in the United States too.
look for his parents.
Yeah, yeah. Nigga had a husband's parents. Excuse me. And other than we just talking about the fact, I just thought about the we started off about that curse uh, on the tree thing, and it's just interesting that uh, Come on, guys, give me some images. I'm not interested in anything else except for image. Got a whole bunch of backgrounds. What is this right here? I think they both got the same background.
I don't know.
I don't think he ain't the best people to tell us is the KKK, right? They the ones that tell you.
Yeah,
Uh
they'll look at him.
say you ain't from here,
Look,
boy.
they'll find 2%.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think let's see here. What is this right here? What are these people?
I don't know.
No, it says Nikki Haley's children, two children. I saw that one guy. I was like, what's that other guy? I saw a guy a few minutes ago that was really validated.
Yeah.
What happened to him? Let me go back a little bit. Like, what's this group right here? What is this? Do you see what it says? Nikki Haley,
Well,
two children. What you know about Rena? And so Rena is married to,
a brother.
that what it looks like. Can you see it? Picture?
Yeah, yeah, I see it.
And that's the complexion right here.
But that's her mom's complexion.
Yeah.
Um,
You're thinking the father is definitely Anglo-Saxon.
yeah.
Okay.
What's his name? Michael?
It's Michael Haley. Okay. Well, I'll have to do more. Like I said, we was trying to find his parents, but it didn't pick up. Nikki Haley's husband.
You just put Michael Haley's.
Oh, Michael. Just put Michael. Yeah.
Says his father lived in poverty and was an alcoholic.
Oh, really? Michael Haley parents. How you get all that? You picked that up already?
Yeah, I just put Michael Haley's parents.
Where'd you come up with
It was
pictures?
I don't there's no pictures of them, but there is a picture of his daughter and his brother.
That just don't look. I guess that one picture.
I
That
think
picture.
they're Indian.
I think he is. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he might be.
I think he is. It's but like I said, he's in that what you call passing. But if you look to this picture right here on the right, and there's an Anglo-Saxon standing beside him. That one sticks out, just like yeah, I think. Well, maybe bottom line is there's the diversity. She represents diversity, you know.
Uh-huh.
And we know that some people got an issue with diversity right now, right?
Uh-huh.
That's when you look at the Democratic side of the house, you see diversity. When you see the other side, you see a few a few in there,
Yeah.
but majority of them are sticking out very clear where they come from. And all we're trying to say is that I think the anger is that the country is coming truly what we talked about.
Yeah.
Not we talked about, but melting pot.
Yeah. Let me step away for a second.
Okay. Matter of fact, we're going to the chapter when you come back. Amen. So the only reason I brought that up, the fact is that why are these people, why is a segment of our society angry? And on top of that, it's not just angry as far as white. There's people that now convinced that black are Some people, black people, are angry, and it's like, why? Why are we doing? Why are we going to go through this political cycles we get into? I don't know. Is strange, but we start off about is the curses he that hangeth on a tree, and the point is our society for the first time is going to have a race where election where uh, it's almost like Biden represents the people that are old who focus on the system, the way the system's supposed to work, the system where we got a two-party system and people work things out politically for the betterment of all people. And then you got this guy seem to be representing people who want to slow that process down, keep that process from happening, uh, and revert back to something that's a little bit more uh, advantage toward another segment of society. You know, it's funny when I was sitting there, took my get my master's degree, it was saying by 2030 that uh, somebody will be a minority, and that in itself may be one of the push to retain uh, a perceived power. Because really, the perceived power, really, the power is based on wealth, based on economics, not based on the color of your skin. It's trying, it brings in the people that uh, may have less, don't have the same economic status, but they represent saying that, look, we promise to make sure you guys are taken care of, and these guys not taken care of, and now that and we got to talk about that from society from a long time ago, right? When, like I said, when you had the lynching and all that other stuff, the civil rights movement, and all that other stuff, just asking just to get my seat at the table. Well, some people don't want some people at the table; they want them off away from the table, and then some people don't want people to move to the head of the table. So there's that anger and frustration. You know, I was sitting there talking and said, you know, it's funny about what you have is both Biden represents, when they talk about progressive, they are talking about change, you know, uh,
They're
where
talking
more,
about equality.
yes, sir. The DD, what's the thing? Diversity,
Yeah,
equity, you know, but in the other group is like, I don't want to do that. Matter of fact, I want to change the history books too to reflect
that
we
it's not a problem.
it wasn't a problem. You know, and I was wondering, here's the other thing too, because when I took my master's degree course back in the 90s, it said by the year 2030, uh, a certain group will be a minority.
Yeah.
Would the and then like I said, we talking about Nikki Haley talking. That's how we got on Nikki Haley anyway. Or was and you said it earlier that people don't want what they did wrong to now turn on them because they'll be a minority like anybody else. So the panic or the anger is I don't want to lose my status, right? You're taking away my status from
Yeah.
me. And the it's or maybe if I can race the history, nobody would do those things to me that I did to them. You know what I mean? Something is what do you think is okay? You frankly, what do
Well,
you think is happening?
I think that because the word of God has been made so available,
Mm-hmm. Mm.
and
Oh no! Oh
and
yeah, I heard.
And
Oh,
it
wow.
is it's
Ooh,
almost an impossibility to have an excuse to not hear any of it. Even the simple things, to the do good, get good, do bad,
ooh,
get bad information about the Bible. And that's pretty much uh,
ooh.
what this world receives of it, you know. And as
Yes.
long as their bad is not exposed, then the little they do that is good, that's what they want to expose.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to actually admit to either taking part of or being complicit and benefiting from the demise of different races and a different type of people
Yeah.
so that they can enjoy a status in a place where there is more than enough to go around.
And then
But
what the
they
problem
got
is,
the mindset that if even if we let them have, then that's going to be less for me, less
mm,
available for me. So I want all I can get. So don't give nobody else anything so that I can have what I have and hopefully get more.
so what about the, but how does that translate to a person that's poor white?
It's the same thing because the poor white are the ones they get these benefits easier than anybody from the government. They get government aid without any hassle. Where people of color go in, well, black folks, African Americans, they got to go through hoops to get these things, and yet everyone else just applies, and there's no problem.
Mm, hmm.
Um, I'm not sure if it's the book stamped from the beginning how it could have been that book, but it showed how the government gives all these other people that come into this nation
Hmm.
just extra money. They give them certificates for goods.
Incentives too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They have them start businesses and everything.
yeah. They get to buy products at zero expense and then go into the neighborhoods, the low income neighborhoods, and make 100% profit off of the stuff
Mm,
because they're getting these goods free and
wow.
stocking up a store. I mean, it's one of the simplest come ups for them.
It's a path. It's a path
Yeah,
easy to and the thing I guess I'm looking at is that these people don't they I'm trying to figure out this 2024 should not be a concern. And I'm not even sure who they think they're attacking. Right? Remember Ronald Reagan came in with that welfare queen
yeah,
and found out that the welfare queen was were white people.
yeah.
But
But it didn't matter because the image that he put out
the image she put out.
was not them. So
Yeah.
it didn't they couldn't identify as being the very ones. No different than Obamacare, which is
Mm,
the Health Care Act,
yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Affordable care, health care.
affordable health care act. It's
Hmm.
not called Obamacare. It's what they coined it to be. And the sad thing is they destroyed a program that would have been far greater
Yes, sir.
than what it ended up being.
Because they had like 40 million people sign up for it.
Yeah.
They didn't
And
expect that many people to sign up for it,
yeah, and
even
it
though
would
they
have
tried
been
to kill
even
it.
better benefits if they would have just left it alone. But they put
Yeah.
all of the red tape and tried to destroy it and make it collapse on itself.
Yeah.
And
Even the money. Yeah.
it still
Yeah.
exists.
Because some of the states, when they wanted to get the money, they had to do federal exchanges because
Yeah,
the states were trying to keep the money from the people.
yeah.
It's just
But it's it's the people who control the media are the
yeah.
ones who control the chaos. And we know
Yeah, look
ain't
at Fox
nobody
News.
poor controlling the media. There's
Yeah.
nobody poor dictating what is to be seen and what is not. Because any person who is looking at doing something that is good for this nation, that is going to edify this nation, would never, ever give somebody a platform just because it's a equal thing. Just because, I mean, we know that what you're saying is false, but we're going to give you this platform because we're giving someone else a platform.
Yeah. Matter of fact, it's funny, hypocrisy, hypocrisy, hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Look. Even the these people are a trip.
Where else does
They
that happen?
it's a trip. Even with the Biden thing, right? They wanted to impeachment, and they want to impeach him,
Yeah.
and found out that their star witness.
Yeah. Everything hinged on the star. We have the most credible person, and that is our most valuable. And then their most valuable witness and evidence is a sham. And then they come right back and they showed it. They showed them saying how important this guy was. And then right after that, they have him saying, well, he was never a big part of our impeachment plan. Right after they just finished saying that he was the key to it.
Oh yeah, because that's what they exchanged for money, right?
Yeah.
That's the $5 million. And
Yeah.
Biden said, "Show me the paycheck. Show me this
Yeah.
the pay stub."
Show me the money.
Yeah, you said I got $5 million. I didn't show it to me. And then Cortez was sitting there saying his, but we do know Trump got $8 million
Yeah.
in his
Yeah. But
pocket.
nobody's saying that.
Damn. Hypocrisy
Yeah.
is what we're talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. I
Hypocrisy.
mean, the media won't show that. They
Yeah.
got to make controversy
Yeah.
because controversy breeds chaos, brings stability in the weeds.
Mm,
As
mm.
long as we fighting down in here in the weeds and complaining and graveling amongst each other and amongst topics that really ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
A
They
stretch.
I mean,
Yeah.
you would think people would be talking more about not the cost of the food, but why are these people raising the cost of the food?
Hmm.
It ain't Biden raising the cost of the food. It is not Biden raising the
Or
cost of the
gas
gas.
price or anything
And
else.
it's
Yeah.
not Biden stopping these people from hiring folks. And it's
But
not
look,
him that's stopping people from going to get jobs. But
oh,
that's what they point at
oh,
to
matter of
get
fact,
you off
yeah.
of the truth.
And look, they went to part about how people feel.
Yeah.
So the facts couldn't hold up on the gross product, gross whatever the thing is,
Yeah. So
GDP.
now it's people feel.
It's people feel.
Yeah.
So then we're gonna go back based on how people feel in order to
Yeah.
devise
Not
the
what's
health.
actually going on. You
Yeah.
know, look, they keep talking about how hard it is, but yet there's people still flying all over the state. There's people still going to the movie theater,
Buy
still going to
houses.
look. I seen these stadiums packed, and ain't
Yeah.
not one seat in there under $1,000.
Super Bowl.
Regular,
Oh, regular games too. Yeah,
regular
yeah,
games. I mean,
yeah.
um, they're still going to sporting events. They're still they
Hey, look, don't forget that in the housing market, right? You
oh
got
yeah,
more buyers than sellers.
yep.
You know,
But you know
yeah,
what?
it's
This
huh?
and then the reason why they're complaining about that is because these major corporations are buying up all the homes sight unseen, and then they won't sell them. They only rent to control the market. That's how they
Wow,
control their market.
D
They won't sell.
D.
They'll just buy. Somebody wants to like you need to sell your home. They won't even. You'll get a call. We'll buy it for this. What do you want to sell it for? I know you got those calls. You ready to
Mm.
sell your
We
home?
got little letters in there talking about cash.
Yeah,
We'll buy this house for you cash.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
because
so
because
they'll
my
buy it sight unseen. They'll come in. They'll even renovate it and then rent it out. They won't even
mm,
sell it. They'll just hold on to
D. It's
it.
funny because yeah, they see like I was showing pending, but the new houses is different, right? Because I bought a new house.
Uh-huh.
They are they selling you trying to that they're not buying those anyway. They want those sold. New homes,
New
maybe.
homes. Yeah, they're not buying these people who sell off they parents' land and then plot it out, and then all these new homes make up subdivision. They're not doing
Uh-huh.
that. Or
Hmm.
they're the one buying that subdivision.
Mm. Or in
And then
other words,
they
I make money off of it because I noticed that the when we first went up there, the cost of a new home was the same as an old home,
mm-hmm.
and that was one of the biggest things. Was kind of like, wow. So when that new home popped up, it was like, oh, we'll take that.
We'll take
You
that.
know, yeah. I just thought it was ironic. But hey, look, let's do some word real quick and then get out of here.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
What, we got
So
what, 15 minutes?
yeah, let's do 15 minutes. I want to throw something at you anyway. That's kind of in vain, but that just want to throw that strange fruit. I'm stopping this one. This not us, but the live, and then I'm gonna bring it back up. Take care. Bye bye. There won't be no time.